The post they used to keep the rice in for prisoners, and I just learned that the prisoners here had to eat very poor food like chewy buffalo meat, broken small fish, and with rotten vegetables.
Guys, welcome to our channel. We are a group of 3 men with Vietnam, Hoàng Thái Linh and me, Trần Hoàng Anh. Today, we will visit Hoa Lo Prison, one of the historical sites which is considered as hell on earth, marking during the resistance war against the two most powerful empires at that time, France and America. So let's come with us to go inside this place. Hoa Lo Prison is located at number 1 Hoa Lo Street, Hanoi. It's open from Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sometimes they have a night show in which people will reenact the historical stories and whole life performances. The entrance ticket costs 13,000 Vietnam dong, which is less than a boat offer. You can pay to learn the history of the country, right? You first gain the prospect to rent a voiceover machine. You can rent it to have better understanding of history of each location in this prison. Moreover, you can get a map so you can know about the tour route. The first room explains Hoa Lo location and its name. Hoa Lo Prison was constructed by French colonists in 1896 on the land of Phuc Khánh Village, Vincent Canton, Thọ Xuân District, Hanoi. In the 19th century, this village was only destination in the Thăng Long Citadel, where home appliances such as candles, teapots, and portable stoves were made. Hence, the name Hoa Lo or fiery furnace was another name of this village. In 1896, French colonists built the prison, the Code of Assizes, and the secret agent office on the land area of Phuc Khánh Village. They moved all villagers, all pagodas, and communal houses in Phuc Khánh Village to other places, covering a total land area of 12,908 square meters. Hoa Lo Prison was one of the largest and fortified prisons in Indochina at that time. I was very sad and shocked to learn that Phuc Khánh Village was a very nice and rich village, because people make portable earthen stove and people here just had good life by selling those. It's gone up until the 1896 when the French colonists built this prison, and this prison is one of the largest and fortified prisons in Indochina at that time. And I can't believe that peaceful life just turned into like a frightening world during this time. Just can't imagine.
We are standing at cell D, one of the largest cells of Hoa Lo Prison, where the French colonialists jailed political prisoners. During the period of 1930-1945, it was known as the Division Politique. It had a tile roof, no ceiling, and solid was painted with black tar. Originally, the cell housed a maximum of just 40 prisoners. However, there was a time when it held up to nearly 100 prisoners. It was very hot and stuffy in the summer. In winter, when prisoners with their warm clothes would feel frozen to the bone, they would lie in a fetal position, with each other's chests pressing against another back to keep warm and to have enough space for all. The pots they used to keep the rice in for prisoners, and I just learned that the prisoners here had to eat very poor food like chewy buffalo meat, broken small fish, and with rotten vegetables, because the French want to minimize the ration of prisoners. And there was a time that up to 40 prisoners died in a month. We are going to cell E, where the French colonialists jailed political prisoners. In the 1930 and 1931, jailers of Hoa Lo Prison adopted stringent regulation to prevent Vietnamese communist inmates from forming prisoner organization and resisting. However, Vietnamese communists still found many ways to maintain their ruling to find and build solidarity among prisoners and demand that jailers treat the political prisoners properly. In the period of 1940 and 1945, political training courses were held right in the cell. Viet Minh resolution, program, and regulations were popularized among the communists. To have materials for revolutionary propaganda and study in the prison, the communists often crawl on the floor to compile. They hid these materials by chiseling the wall, pulling out the bricks, and then restoring the original appearance to make sure that these materials would not be detected despite the regular patrol of jailers. We can see the toilet area, which was built openly inside the camp with 2 tow waste buckets put underneath. prisoners must go to the toilet in front of the fellow inmates. Moreover, when prisoners fought against such harsh imprisonment, deputy warden made cleaning the toilet forbidden, polluting the atmosphere with overflowing waste. Making the best out of the worst, prisoners used the toilet to hide secret documents from the guards. These documents were put in a metal boxes covered carefully in tiny bags and put inside the toilet waste boxes. At the end of the day, after guards took a roll call, inmates pulled the documents up for training and propagating the revolution purpose.
This is cachot used to confine prisoners who broke the regulation of the prison. Cachot in Hoa Lo were hell of the hell. The dungeon were dark and narrow. Prisoners were kept separately and were put in stock and had to eat and release themselves on the spot. All the prisoners confined here were puffed with edema. Their eyes were closed over and their bodies were covered with scabies, scored by the light of lion egg. There is an almond tree, a friend of prisoner here. Prisoner use almond bark and generally to kill dysentery and diarrhea, to clean wood, almond nut to improve health, and almond branch to make pen holder, pie, flute. By the almond tree, political prison could discuss measures on fighting against the enemy Soviet confidence and barbar repression. Here there are two underground cellars where over 100 Hoa Lo political prisoners escaped through sit in camp jail. They reach different locations and participate in general insurrection August 1945. Then became the party and government leader. The next destination is Condom Cell, which were completely isolated from other cells of Hoa Lo Prison to prevent death row inmates from communicating with the outside. Prisoners here were locked all day long, not even free to use the toilet. The cell doors were open just twice a day for all guards to bring milk and water to death row inmates. According to the prison regulation, prisoners who were sentenced to death were detained here from a minimum of 10 months from the day being sentenced as a count of aside. During this time, prisoners could lodge an appeal or claim for sentence reduction. However, to eliminate some death row inmates, particularly the ones whom the French considered dangerous, the death row inmates were executed after only 2 to 3 days from the day of sentence. In this room, you can see some French torture equipment such as field can, berry, cheerleader, and rope, which were used to inflict Vietnamese political prison in Hanoi Detective Department adjustment, and especially this is guillotine used to behave revolutionary patriotic the leader in prison in Hoa Lo Prison.
Beauty shower used by male prisoners, Hoa Lo Prison. According to the prison rules, every prisoner is obliged to take a shower in the summer, but in reality, prisoners are obliged to take a shower once a week. Hundreds of prisoners from different camps are rolled up to take a shower in 15 minutes. Due to the high number of prisoners and the shower must be taken quickly, prisoners used to call it dry shower. Our final destination in today's Hoa Lo Prison tour is the Memorial Monument at Hoa Lo Prison Relics. It is a sacred place, a place to show remembrance and gratitude towards heroes who sacrificed themselves for the independence and liberty of Vietnam. Therefore, there will be certain rules, so everyone must pay attention to it before entering to burn incense for the soldier. Reading the messages from former prisoners, my heart aches. I couldn't imagine people having to suffer, lose their families, and sacrifice themselves for the independence and freedom. Nowadays, it's easy for us to see the tip of history iceberg based on what we see and hear from the media. As a result, we are quickly to judge and hate. The lack of sympathy causes war. It doesn't matter if people call it the American War or Vietnamese War, it's simply just war. And we need to understand it from both sides of history. No matter where we go, we should remember our roots and always be willing to understand each other's history, cultures, and backgrounds. That way, the world would be a better place.